Hello, upper school. Today we are going to outer space and we are going to be drawing a rocket ship. All right, so to start, you're gonna wanna make sure your paper is placed the way you want it. I'm gonna keep it portrait. And then after you figure that all out, you're gonna wanna decide which way you want the rocket to go. I'm just gonna have it kind of going off to the side to show more movement, okay? And you're basically just using curvy lines and repeating them together. To me, a rocket ship kind of looks like a fish, kind of like with the curvy lines and then like the fins. There's different models, different makes, so there's a ton of different ways how to draw them. Even if you Google it online, there's like a million different ways. This is just one way. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start in the middle of my paper and I'm gonna use some curvy lines because like I said before, it kind of reminds me of like a fish shape. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw a curvy line for one side of the rocket ship. Okay. It's kind of curvy. If you want it more straight, you could have it more straight. And then at the top, it's going to be more triangular. But before I do that, underneath it, I'm going to draw another line, kind of going the opposite way to make the other side of the rocket ship. And then for the top of the rocket ship, it's going to be kind of like a triangle. So I'm just going to have it go this way, more slanted, and then go to like kind of like a point. And then if you wanted like a part like sticking out like that, you can. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to kind of close the shape up. And I'm just going to meet these two lines together with another curvy line. And the line's going to go kind of up because we're going to be seeing the underside of the rocket ship and where like the fuel and like the light is coming out, or the like fire. And after you do that, I'm going to draw a slanted line, another curvy line, and then the part where the fire comes out, what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line sticking out like that, a line sticking out like that, and then another curvy line. And then that's the part where all the fire is going to be coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have like a jagged line for the fire kind of coming out. And you can draw this any way you want, but I'm just trying to get it kind of spiky. And then you can have the inside where the hotter part of the flame is, or the fire, and that's going to be yellow, and that's going to be like where the orange fire is coming out. Then you're going to make the fins, and there's lots of different ways you can do that. You can just have like triangles coming off the side, but I want to do it a little bit fancier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a curvy line coming out this way, kind of like a wing, and then another curvy line coming out this way like a wing, and then a line to kind of connect it. And then what I want is I want another launcher, or kind of like boosters, I guess you could call them, like coming off the sides. So what you're going to do is, I'm looking at my reference drawing. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this. I don't like the way I did this. Thinking. Okay, we're gonna go with it. All right, so I want them to be kind of the same shape as the main ship itself. So they're gonna be kind of like that fish shape. And even though I have these lines here, I'm just gonna go over it. So I'm gonna make a line here, and it's okay because once I add color to it, you're not gonna notice your mistakes. And then a line here, and then a line here. So basically a miniature version of what we had right for our main rocket ship. And then I'm gonna do the same kind of rounded line on the bottom to show kind of like an ellipse, because we're kind of looking up at it and you can see the bottom and it's like a circular shape. And then I think I'm just gonna add another line here for the detail, another line here, and then you can have the flame coming out for the boosters. Okay, and then like that smaller line on the inside. Okay, and this line that I attached it to, I can just incorporate that into a design for the rocket ship, which is fine. So see, you can always fix your mistakes if you do mess up. And then I'm gonna add some circles just for a little bit of texture and for design. And then for like the inside of the spaceship, you can make windows. So for the windows, they could be square, they could be circular. I've seen mostly circular windows, so I'm gonna just do a circular window, like towards the middle here, up on the top. And then another window here, or another circular line for the window, like for the trim. And then I'm gonna draw some more lines for design. And see how these lines, I'm not going straight across, they're kind of curvy, just to show that the ship is kind of circular and not just like flat. And then I think I'll do the same thing up top. But again, kind of a curvy line. Then do another one up here. And then maybe I'll add another window. Okay. And then if you want to add some other kind of designs, you can do that. And then like rocket ships are usually like welded together. So if you want to do like the bolts, just to give it some texture, you can do that too. And then maybe I'm just gonna make that one bigger. So see, I made a mistake, totally fixed it. All right, and like I said, if you wanted the boosters closer to the rocket ship, you could do that, or just have like triangles going out. Totally up to you. All right, so now the next thing you're going to do is you're gonna start coloring, you're gonna add details. So there's lots of things you can add for the background. Obviously, if it's in space, you could draw planets and stars. We're gonna do that. So right here, I'm gonna have Earth kind of like in the bottom corner. So I'm just gonna draw like a half circle because we can't see the whole Earth. And then you can draw like the continents. I'll just draw a little bit of the United States. Since I'm in Florida, I'll have Florida coming out this way. And then we'll color that in. For the planets, you could just add some circles. Remember, if something's far away, it's gonna be smaller. So if there's some planets that are really far away, you can make like smaller circles. For stars, really easy. All you have to do is make circles, or you could draw star shapes. I like circles because stars are just like balls of light and gas, so they're not gonna be like a star. But it's your picture, do what you want. All right, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add like an astronaut or something. I know Among Us is really popular, so maybe we could put a Among Us character in here. So maybe I'll put the crew member like outside the spaceship. And I looked online trying to see what the spaceship looked like from the outside, and I know you could probably find it. So we're just gonna go with this spaceship. So for Among Us characters, they're pretty easy to draw, and I know there's tons of ways to customize them. And we're just gonna draw like a basic like red crew member. So what I'm gonna do is they're kind of like circular shaped. They remind me of like minions, but if you have a better way to draw it, totally do it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the visor of the suit. And basically it is just a rounded rectangle, just like that. And then it kind of goes around. And if you don't want to add the Among Us character, or you want to add something different, you could do that too. It comes around. And I'm just looking at my reference picture because I just want to make sure it looks like a real crew member. Okay, so you have your visor. Always start with your visor. That's the easiest way to do it. I've tried drawing Among Us characters a lot of different ways, and it's always easier if you start with the visor and then work around it. And then you come around, and then you have to make the leg, and then kind of like the line right here in the middle, and then the second leg of the spacesuit, and it's gonna go up just like that. And then there's like this little pack thing on the back of it. And again, like I said, you just want to get the basic shape of it. All right, and then if you want to draw other crew members kind of floating around, you can. So maybe I'll draw another one a little bit smaller. He's further away, so he's going to be a little bit smaller. Or she. Maybe they got ejected off the ship. Who knows? And then, like I said, there's a ton of different ways you can customize your characters, your crew members. So if you want to add those different mods, you could do that too, or give them the pets or whatever. Maybe I want to do like another one by like facing the other way, like over here. Okay. Oh, it looks so cool. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to color. All right. So I'm going to start with my ship. So obviously you can color your ship any way you want. If you're using pencil and you want to add shading, you could add shading. But when you're using markers, the easiest way to do shading is like just to get a gray marker and just put it on the edges. And that's just going to give the illusion of shading. It's also going to hide your mistakes. Okay. And just go kind of around the edges. Okay. And if you want it to be more shadow on one side, you could just draw the marker, the gray marker on one side, but I'm just going to do it all the way around. Okay. Maybe add another line here, here. Okay. And then for the fire, I keep calling it fire, but like the exhaust coming out of it from those rocket boosters, I'm gonna start on the outside with orange. And it's okay if the orange is coming out of the lines because you have the light that heat, that fire is putting out, or putting off, oops, excuse me, product placement. Not sponsored by Diet Pepsi, it should be, but. All right, let's see. Oh, for those of you who are health conscious, I also have water. Oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna color this in. Okay. Oh, see, I'm already like surprised. It's already looking really good. Like I knew it was gonna be good, but like it's looking really good. Not to toot my own horn or anything. I kind of like it too when the marker colors bleed together. Just gives it a cool effect. All right. And then you can add other details like designs on the ship. I'm gonna do some like blue lines. You could do like an American theme, NASA theme, put different flags and whatnot on it. Totally up to you. And then maybe I want to do blue around the windows. And then add another circle in there, and then just a line just to show the glass of the window. You can even have maybe some characters like peeking out. And then for the Among Us characters, what you can do is make the inside of the visor, like the part where they're looking out of. So they use like light blue and dark blue. What I'm gonna do, since I don't have a light blue marker, oh wait, I do have a light blue marker. Because they have like that coloring on them, like the reflection. And then do my darker blue over here. Just to give them some like depth. Because they're pretty simple characters, but let's see. Let me color them. I'll have some red cream on there. Okay. And then I'll make this one a green one. Okay. And then I'll make a yellow. Let's go with yellow. Oops. That's right. Makes it look like shadow. Kind of bled a little bit. Totally fine. And then they have a little bit of shadow on them. So if you wanted to go over the parts with more marker just to give some shadow for some depth, like towards the bottom where their legs are, it's a little bit darker. So if you're using a marker, just keep going over that spot and we'll make it look darker. Because like I said, even though they're like simple characters, they still have like shadow and stuff. Then my yellow one. You know what? I'm turning him orange. That spot is bothering me. See, look, like I keep saying, you can always fix your mistakes. Rio agrees. He just heavy side over there. Okay, and then for the planets, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to color it in. I maybe leave some white in there, some purple. I'm not really making it scientific. I'm just drawing the basic shapes here. And then maybe gray, and then Florida over here on Earth. And if you want to add like clouds around Earth, you could do that too. Just like wavy lines, just to show you. I didn't draw any over America, so, or North America, I should say. But whatever. So there's lots of different options, lots of different ways to customize this picture. I'm having a lot of fun with this. And I'm gonna leave a little bit of white too in there, just to give it some texture. And then last but not least, I'll do the stars. And I'm just gonna make them yellow. And I'm going outside the line just to make it look like they are shining bright. And I'm not gonna worry about coloring the sky, like space itself, like black or blue. I'm just gonna leave it white. If you want to be really extra, really fancy, if you want to cut these out and put it on a black piece of paper, you could do that too. That's much easier than trying to cover or color everything around your drawings. I feel like there needs to be more stars over here. All right, I'm going to stop there before I add too much, but I could keep going. Happy drawing, happy space traveling, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.
Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.